How you doing everyone, it's Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch. I'm delighted to be bringing you another review. Today we're going to be looking at Retro City Rampage, provided to us by V-Blank Entertainment, so thank you very much. Now at the end of this video guys, if you do like the video, please hit that thumbs up button, it really does help us out. If you're a new watcher here, then please consider subscribing to our channel, we'd love you to join us. And last but not least, if you like this video and want to say something to me, leave me a comment in the comment section. I'd love to know your thoughts and respond. Now let's not wait any longer and let's get into the Retro City Rampage review. This really is an assault on the 1980s senses right from the beginning. I'm a 1980s child and I love the music, movies, comics, you name it from that era. This game for me is an assault on my 1980s senses. There's so many references here. All the games and movies I've watched and played from that time would probably be somewhere in here, reworked somehow. This is a game that transforms you back to your childhood and brings all of that nostalgia back to the surface. This is a homage to many 8-bit video games in the past and takes elements from many different genres and ties them all up in this wonderful little package, which just brings back so many memories and emotions. The story isn't going to win any awards here by any means, but it's basically about a gun for hire, and in 1985 you end up as a henchman for a major crime syndicate. After 3 years of working for a jester, heist goes wrong and you end up running into a time travelling telephone booth, as you do of course, which you steal. You end up going in time and upon arrival you meet a man called Doc Chock as the booth breaks down. This is of course a parody of Back to the Future, and there are many references like this throughout the story. As the booth is now broken, in order to get it working again, Doc Chock starts to send you on a number of different missions to recover parts for it. I'm going to talk about the visuals here for a little bit. The game is all wrapped up in a booming city and it looks great and busy. The vibrant colours used and pixel art just screams 1980s and retro. I absolutely love how this game looks and adore the pixelated designed levels. The game runs completely smoothly both in docked mode and in handheld and looks incredible both ways. V-Blank really went all out here to make this game look classic. Now the audio reminds me a lot of what you could do in the GTA games. You can change the audio tracks as you're driving in a vehicle, and while the tracks are all chiptunes, they all sound really great and catchy. Although having just reviewed Slime Sound, this was not quite up to that level, but it was certainly close. The sound effects are really nice here and satisfying, and it all adds up to a really nice package. And let's talk about the most important thing. None of this would matter if the gameplay wasn't up to scratch. The game certainly starts for me with a lack of rhythm, but it's really a tutorial to get you used to as many game mechanics as possible in a short space of time. You do bounce from cutscene to cutscene and the dialogue to dialogue and bout to bout, and it's only when you spend the first 30 minutes or so getting through that you end up in the open world and you're able to choose either side missions or continue the main mission path. This will naturally draw comparisons to the very first GTA top-down view, but they are quite different beasts. What's wonderful about this is you can play it as a twin-stick shooter or use a single fire button to play. There is great variety in the weapons, from grenades to rocket launchers being my favourite, as you can really cause some chaos here. The police will chase you down naturally, but the great thing about this is you can continue to string together combos and multipliers to get bigger scores, as the police never feel too overpowered here, which I absolutely had a blast causing havoc. The missions in the story usually involve going from A and collecting something from B and then going off to drop it off at C. What is great though is there's quite a bit of variety within the missions. My favourite was tracking down the professor's monkey vehicle, and this thing was able to just flatten every vehicle, person and anything else in its path. The missions are short and sweet, but they are quite varied and they are a nice distraction. Many of the missions require quite a bit of strategy. You can jump over bullets and even jump on people to kill them, like any respectable kind of platformer. Some of the missions have been made a little easier due to previous iterations of the games on other consoles being over the top too difficult. But I often found myself having more fun just messing around in the open world, where you can track down cool little secrets, visit the shops where you can even get a haircut, for example. And what's great about this is you're not up for doing any of the story. You can just have fun causing trouble, which I have to admit is what I always ended up doing in all of the Grand Theft Autos anyway. The great news is that there are other modes. For example, there's an arcade mode where you can just have a blast, being completely invincible and having to cause as much damage as possible by destroying everything in your path within a set time limit. Now, the more damage you cause, the better the medal you will end up with. How about trying to stay airborne for as long as possible by firing your rocket launcher into vehicles at point blank range, the blast keeping you in the air, or running around trying to throw as many people in the water as you can. All of these challenges are just insane fun, and I probably spent more time on these than going back into the story. You do of course have a health bar at the top, and there are hearts dotted around to recover your health if it gets too low in any of the given missions, although the challenges do change it up a bit by giving you an infinite health bar and then asking you just to go and cause as much chaos as possible within a set time limit. I would say that as you get later into the game, some of the missions do get a little bit repetitive, and after a while of course in a game like this you will enjoy some missions a lot more than others. And on to value then. For the price, there's just so much to love about this package. It gets full marks from me for value. The fact that it looks stunning on the Switch and you can take this game anywhere is an absolute boon. Put in a good pair of earphones with your Switch and you can get immersed for hours on the move, causing mayhem. While there's over 60 missions here and many challenges to unlock and secrets to find, you can lose hours just messing around in the open world city, stealing cars, lorries, motorbikes, seeing how differently they handle, visiting the shops, trying to find all the customizations and unlockables, lobbing grenades or unleashing a barrage of bullets. It's just all part of the crazy fun you can have here. So I'm going to talk about my verdict for this. For me, it's an absolute no-brainer. If you love retro, then there's much to love here. The gameplay is fun, the missions are varied, and you do get challenged later on. I would be nitpicking, but the start of the game is a little bit choppy, and for some this will get a little bit repetitive after a while. For me though, I could lose hours just messing around in the city, and if you're like me and likes being brought back to your childhood and having that wonderful dose of nostalgia thrown at you with references from old movies, music, parody, comedy and insane violence thrown in for good measure, then what are you waiting for? The detail here is in the name. This is Retro City Rampage and it's tearing it up on the Switch. I give this an 8 out of 10. If you like this video guys, and please hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below letting me know your thoughts, and last but not least, if you're a new watcher to this channel then please consider subscribing. My name is Juan Romero from SwitchWatch. You know what I'm going to say. I'll see you on the next one.